Good morning. Hey, it is Monday, June the 11th, and y'all are joining me for part 5 in our series titled The 10 Commandments. Glad you could join me today. Hey, thank you for letting me have a 3-day weekend, go spend time with the family camping. It was a blast. I had so much fun. It was hot. It was tiring, didn't get much sleep, uh, but it was much needed rest, much needed time away, just take everything else off the plate and just be for a while. Much needed. So thank you for that. But got to get back to work, got to get back to it. And so I'm bringing you today this message, going through the 10 Commandments. We're working on our fourth one. I know we're on part 5, but we're working on number 4 of the commandments. And this one is an interesting one because I feel a lot of people miss what it truly means. Um, I think they get focused on the verbiage of the commandment and they miss its intention and what you're supposed to do to obey this commandment. It is the longest. Got the most description in the writing. Um, it's found in Exodus chapter 20 verses 8 through 11 and Deuteronomy chapter 5 verses 12 through 15. So I'm going to read for you. Deuteronomy chapter 5 verses 12 through 14 or 15 say this. They say, "Observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy, as the Lord your God has commanded you. You have 6 days each week for your ordinary work, but the seventh day is a Sabbath day of rest dedicated to the Lord your God. On that day, no one in your household may do any work. This includes you, your sons and daughters, your male and female servants, your oxen and donkeys, and other livestock, and any foreigners living among you. All your male and female servants must rest as you do. Remember that you were once slaves in Egypt, but the Lord brought you out with his strong hand and powerful arm. That is why the Lord your God has commanded you to rest on the Sabbath day." So, a lot of people get so focused on the first one. Observe the Sabbath day by keeping it holy. And that means what? You have to go to church on Sunday, because that's the Sabbath day. Let's go back and do a little historical research. Actually, the Sabbath day on this one, when this scripture was written, was Saturday. Okay? Not Sunday. It changed to Sunday during the Roman time frame. They moved it to Sunday because it was more beneficial for them. I'm not going to get into all that. But don't get so stuck on what day of the week it is. The point is, what you need to get stuck on is, are you taking a day of rest? Are you taking a day like God did when he created earth? God didn't need to rest, but he did. He worked 7 days and then took a day of rest. Why? To stop. To admire what he had done. To admire what God had created and to be thankful for that. Are you doing that in your life? Are you taking a Sabbath day of rest in a week time frame? On that Sabbath day, are you resting? It is proven that we need physical rest. And much like physical rest, we need spiritual rest. So are you spiritually resting in God? Are you physically taking a day off of work to rest? You need to ask yourself these things, because if you're going to obey this commandment, you need to make sure you're obeying it to the fullest. Not just this little part. Yeah, we're keeping the Sabbath holy, but we're going to keep working our butts off and doing what we can to get extra money here and there. You're not resting. You're not doing it. It doesn't count. It's like telling a white lie. It's still a lie. Okay? So, where do we break it down? I'm not going to go into a breakdown of how you rest. If you want that breakdown, go back into my videos here or look up on my YouTube channel, Daily Drink Ministries channel on YouTube, and look up a series I did called Relax. It's Christmas. It's a 4 or 5 part series where I talk about rest and how you're supposed to do, what you're supposed to do on the Sabbath day and how you're supposed to rest. I will jump back and read it real quick. We used rest as an acronym for remember His goodness, express your neediness, seek His stillness, and trust His faithfulness. Rest. If you'll apply this acronym to your day of Sabbath, man, it will help you. I promise. Go back and watch that series. Relax. It's Christmas. It was done, I didn't write the dates down here, but it's right around Christmas time. So you can go back and find those videos and watch them. But what I want to get the point across today is to obey this commandment, right? I'm going to read a quote that was in my devotional, and I'm going to kind of break it down with a little bit of scripture. And the quote said this: "We need physical and spiritual rest. If we are continually working all the time, this could mean that we are not looking solely for provisions from God." Back that up with Psalms 127 verse 2. Psalms 127 verse 2 says this. It says, "It is useless for you to work so hard from early morning until late at night, anxiously working for food to eat, for God gives rest to His loved ones." A day of rest is a gift. Don't abuse it. Use it. Take advantage of it. God gave it to you as a gift. The second part was this: if we're not spiritually at rest, this could mean that we are not trusting God as we should. We're not trusting God as we should. Hebrews 4 verses 9 and 10 say this. Hebrews 4 verse 9 and 10 say this: "There is a special rest." My notes in my Bible say a Sabbath rest. Sabbath, you get it? A Sabbath rest still waiting for the people of God. For all who have entered into God's rest have rested from their labors, just as God did after creating the world. I guarantee you, when you experience a day of God's spiritual rest, you will know it. You will know it. Spiritually, you'll be like, "Oh, man, I feel better." But you can't experience that unless you apply these things. Unless you apply looking to God, trusting in Him, relying on God, taking yourself out of the equation, focusing on Him for a day. No work, just rest. That's keeping the Sabbath holy. Keeping focused on God and relying on Him. That's my daily drink for today. Y'all be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow.